Yo, what's up? It's your boy Elf7. Today I got a special guest on. That's right, it's your boy Big Talk Little Talk. Now the thing is that nobody's gonna see perfectly eye to eye, but I think this guy's pretty cool. Actually, I've seen him doing a lot of moves that I myself was thinking about making, but actually, you know, um, some of the moves I think were done better, and I actually signed up to be part of his network, right? Rather than just creating. They say in the artist world, there's too many artists and not enough fans. You know what I mean? And the thing is that there's got to be a balance. You can't everybody be an artist trying to like, yo, look at me, look at me. You gotta be. If you want people to be fans, you gotta also be a fan to understand and learn what that process is like and do all that. So I'm happy to be a Big Talk Little Talk fan. So one thing that I noticed is once I started linking up with this guy, right? He has like a crew that he kind of like, so some regulars that's on his show, right? And I kind of noticed that that's cool. And as part of this, a lot of your friends are actually Tulsi related Tulsi sympathizers. They seem to be a little bit more left, yeah. On the
Yes,
other show, I
definitely.
said you seem to have a preference. So what's up, man? Are you really like? What's the deal, man? What's up with that particular bend of things? I'm just wondering, as a fan, right? I'm sure the fans are
Uh-huh.
probably wondering: are you probably more lefty than your positions maybe state, or right? They say, you know what I mean? Or are you collecting these people with more leftist views for a certain reason? Maybe they make good. Maybe they make
No,
exciting content because they're more like
no,
talking
I
back
just
on
think
stuff.
like it's part of the intellectual exercise to always put yourself in the other position and then argue from that position against your own position. This is tactics that
Hmm.
are used across industries, markets, specialties, crafts,
Yeah.
what have you. You know, in sports, they study the opponent's videos, they see how they play down to every single player and every single move. So I call it just being a good politically minded thinking commentator
I do something
and
similar. Actually, I think
speculator.
that's really cool, man. I actually join like a lot of different political campaigns because I want to see what they're doing, understand what they're doing. I'm signed up for all the different newsletters, so I see a lot of similarities in the approach, as in terms of like trying to make sure you get all the bases covered. And I think that it might be. I believe that you said you were Latino.
Yes, well,
Okay.
Hispanic. I'm
Yeah.
mostly Mexican
Yeah.
heritage,
I tried to say
but
like you could
two
definitely pass
generations here in the
Filipino.
States. So
Yeah. So being the minorities that are often overlooked, right? Maybe that makes us more attuned to this type of, trying to get the whole story or the complete side of things because we know often that our voices are not really as paid attention to in certain discourses. Yeah. Maybe I don't know. We'll see. That's just an interesting topic right there.
yeah, and whenever I'm talking to right wing people in my circles, and I hate all that labeling stuff. I mean, it's important, but at the same time, like, it's not my job to articulate what my position and my philosophy and where I come from, and I mean, I don't think I've that adds any value. What am I adding of value to people by telling them I am a Marxist, neo-conservative, whatever, make up your own word
Yeah.
or fill in the blank. What that doesn't contribute anything. What contributes something is if I push back on everybody. But I just don't, I don't really have right wing people on my show too often,
Yeah.
which I'm trying to work on. I want to get more right wing people on my show so that
Okay.
people can see that I apply the same tactics that I often go after like leftist people for.
Right.
I apply that same tactics
Well, one thing
with them.
I get confused with the whole leftist rightist definition because I'm like not sure
Well,
that
I'll tell you what I
other
am. If
things.
you
Yeah.
want, if you really want to know,
I mean, how do you
I'm.
self-define? Because some people allow, right?
Well,
Like,
I,
yeah,
I I think you just can't self-define in one term, but I'll loosely give you kind of what makes up my political thinking, and that's, I am more socially conservative. So when it comes to social issues, I think you have to kind of ease into those things,
okay,
right? So call me a moderate there or what have you. And as far as, and also just respect everybody's liberties. You're never gonna change people from not to not being assholes. If a guy wants to be the most racist asshole, he's gonna be the most racist asshole.
okay.
And you just can't do anything about that. And if you do, then you're starting to go down a slippery slope.
I don't worry about the labels, man, because the labels could change. You know, what I mean, the labels could
Right.
change,
But
or
but
you could change your mind. It's all good. But I know you as a person. You seem like a fair guy. My joke
But I
was you
will say
let,
I
yeah,
will say
yeah,
this though, on foreign policy, I appreciate that.
yeah.
On foreign policy, I guess I could just throw like Tulsi Gabbard's name in. Now you want to look through her record and see if she's held to every single little thing. of course, everybody's going to have imperfections there, especially these politicians. Look, it's like, when I say Tulsi Gabbard's my favorite, I'm not saying that like it's a normal thing. Like, oh, this person's my favorite because I know him really well, and every action he's taken hasn't like taken me aback. No, I'm saying that, look, in this garbage of a thing called politics and politicians, not to insult Tulsi Gabbard, but they're not the best people, and they're very influenced. These people are like shells. They're influenced by who puts the gas in their car to go and where to go.
That'll be an interesting discussion to have later on. I'm not sure that I 100% agree with that. I understand where you're coming from. I think there's a lot of truth behind that, 100%. But once again, I don't like taking a label and say they're all this way or that way. I think it leads to problems and stuff like that. But I get what you're saying, and I'm a sympathizer, and I like the show, man. And a lot of your takes I agree on 100%.
As far as economics go, too, just to finish.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that there should be some protective measures, but you can't also blame it all on rich people, Yeah. You can't just say, oh, they took, like, they did a coup in the United States and they took over, It was all done through the courts, the legislation, and when you stop believing in those systems, I can't help you. You're too far gone. I can't help you if I point to you, hey, we need to do this. Oh, well, you can't go down that path because that's corrupted, or they just rigged the elections anyway, so they pull all these votes. Okay, make it harder for them to pull every single vote. Like, go flood the system that way. But young people won't do that. The Portland protesters don't care, and those people are just a microcosm. They're yesterday's news. Those people are yesterday's news. Oh, I've lived through Occupy, man. I've lived through all these little, Tea Party stuff. This is going to dissipate. This isn't real action. Okay?
I know, that's true.
I know you're coming from activism.
You're damn right. No, you're damn right. You're absolutely right. Yeah. And, I think you make a lot of assumptions on my positions and my end goals and ideas and stuff like that, which are not necessarily true. Yeah, I am a street activist, 100%. You're right. This will go down. You know what I mean? It's unlikely to win because they let themselves become defocused from the actual right. I've been slacking on that video that I should have come out with, which is why protests fail. But they do fail for very valid reasons, and that's because people didn't follow up in the correct ways. So I learned as time went on to do other things. You know what I mean? But that's more about me. This is about you.
That's the problem.
Yeah. Okay, why is that?
Because that's not their goal. Look, this Black Lives Matter
Who is
situation.
Who is they?
That's not their goal. Those are the people who are out there protesting right now on the streets in Portland. Yeah, I'll say it.
Okay.
It's all of them. Their goal isn't that. This is like an Occupy. Why are we seeing anarchist flags? Why don't you just put up U.S. flags? You know what anarchism means to the suburbanite? Do you know what that looks like to us over here in Colorado in the middle of the country? That looks like your children LARPing on the street. You don't want Black Lives Matter. What does that have to do with an anarchist flag?
Okay, I'll tell you. Another, okay.
Or anarchist symbol.
Okay. The thing is, there's a lot of times when people come out and they, especially like newbies, people who are new to like maybe martial arts or something like that, or like maybe they're new to music, they just learned the guitar, and they want to make you listen to them play guitar. They want to make you listen to that shit. You know what I mean?
No.
But no.
No, because it's not the same thing. It's not like these people are coming in, attaboy, let's go get them. I want to be the best at this corporation. I want to be the best musician. Can you listen to my record and album? No, they fundamentally are detached from Black Lives Matter into something else.
That's going on as well. That's going on as well. All these different things are taking place. But there's people who have supposedly learned about activism or learned about how to do activism, what activism is, and it's what they've seen on a TV show or it's what they've seen on like a movie or something, and it's a protest or something. That's what they think it is. There's a lot more to it, man. You know what I mean? There's a lot more to it.
Wait. So you're saying that they're influenced by the system so much so that they take pride in what the system has symbolically, embedded to them through media, to say this is cool, this is what you need, this is how you need to do it, while simultaneously trying to tear down the system.
A lot of your critiques about the protesters are actually right. You know what I mean? But there's only that's only one.
I just think that you're playing too much of defense for these people.
That's a certain subgroup. That's a certain subgroup of that. But you know what I mean? Anyways, this is what and that's another reason why I really like your positions, because they're slightly different. I think that's very cool, and I think that's the exciting part, and that's the interesting part about a discussion. So I'm a big fan of the Big Talk Little Talk show, and we're not going to see things exactly the same, but I don't want someone to think exactly the same. And honestly, we're close enough. on the points that I think matter. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree 100%.
And just you're right. Maybe there's this weird mixture that happens between economics and social problems that constantly gets kind of melded together. But also, let's talk about, like you're saying, failing, right? How do you define success? Yeah. So as in terms of, like, for yourself and for the movement, those are different things, right? So when you say street activism fails, yeah. I remember actually we were in a discussion with one of the other Power Anthem Network, and you were like, someone said that these protests have failed, or trying to do things through the system has failed before. And you're like, that detracts from all the work that people have done in the past, which have been successful. We have made progress as in terms of, like, certain things in this country. No? Okay.
Well, yes, we have, but it's been largely due to the fact that people were willing to act like adults and go sit at the table with their opponents and actually hash out something that gets us mildly closer and mildly closer until, as you look back in your rearview mirror, you see all of this growth that you've moved forward in, instead of nothing. Okay, you think this Trump administration is going to respond they are only going to respond to these types of actions with fascism. Oh, you're being cowardly because you got to stand up to them. Yeah, but you got to play on the battlefield that they're at. You're out of here in outfield, outside the fence line, doing something. Okay. And I'm not saying that these kind of street protests don't deliver. Guess what? They do deliver. How? A politician named Mayor Wheeler, whatever his name is down there, said, yeah, I'm a neo-lib, and you guys probably think I'm like some whatever. But I'm coming down here, or I'm a racist, whatever these people think of me. I'm going to go down there. I'm going to extend a hand. I'm going to be the first politician to say, hey, you know what? I'm here. Well, there's been other ones too, like mayors and all these other people. And then they get booed off the stage. So do you think any other politician who's even more progressive, doesn't matter, are going to risk them going down there when you have elements in your group?
Hell yeah.
That you
I could tell you somewhere off the top of that who will show up, who would show up and would probably command that crowd in a different way. Al Sharpton, he's automatic, you know what I mean? He could act, if Al Sharpton...
there are people who
he's been booed off the stage before, too. He's been booed off, too. Yeah. But he's got a very good way of commanding the crowd, and he's more of a powerful presenter. And he's got more of that hit quality.
He's not there for the exact reason that I'm saying.
Yeah.
He's not there for the exact reason that I'm telling you.
I get that, too. Yeah, things have changed.
Because he's been booed before.
That's true, too. I've been there, too. Yeah, I've been booed. You know what I mean? It happens, you know what I mean? It's part of the game, you know what I mean? But in the end, if you want to believe that you can affect things. But anyways, look, I think Big Talk, Little Talk is a very interesting show. And all the people that are watching right now, just these discussions right here, the way that we can go off, I think it's really cool. You know what I mean? And
if you ask me a right-wing question or something, I can shut that down too. If it warrants shutting down. I mean, there are some good ideas on the right. There are some good ideas on the left. So, some good leftist ideas are Medicare for all and those kinds of things that I think you can make headway with Republicans, right?
Yeah.
But shutting down public schools where the poor and immigrants, who are trying their best to succeed and want their children to go to school, and saying, I'm not going to teach because I can't teach from the grade. Don't show me any data or any facts that say that children don't get it. I'm not going to go teach out there. Unless you have like this long list, which Los Angeles Teachers Union, go look it up on the internet. You can see their whole platform there. Medicare for all, defund the police, lattes in the morning for me, massages before I go into class. It's got everything, man. It's got everything. And they say until you meet these demands, we're not going back to teach kids who desperately need to, have public schooling. I don't know when the left decided that it's cool to close our schools down.
There's different factions.
Anyways, that's just
playing that. But okay, so another thing that's really cool to watch your show is, and I think I mentioned that once when we talked with another content producer, but the fact that we're both YouTube creators. So that changes my perspective a little bit. Now, honestly, what's kind of funny is even though I'm a street activist, I didn't know what was going on in Portland, Oregon. I stopped paying attention to that stuff. You get what I mean? But one of the cool things is that you're always paying attention to what's going on because you have to constantly come up with new content. That would make you, to me, right, someone who's a little bit more informed than the average person on the street. You know what I mean? because you're always and not you're not just consuming the information more than the average person, but you're also interacting with it and creating new content. So that's very interesting. So the thing is that right now you have some strong opinions, which is cool, and those opinions have been developed after day, right, of creating content and stuff like that. So from the beginning of your journey to like the current time, right, as in your terms of being a YouTube creator, has that changed your perspective as in terms of like understanding the movement? Maybe you've gotten more frustrated at looking how the left loses and loses again. Maybe I don't know, but has your perspective changed at all from this experience?
Somewhat. I think that, largely I started off because Tulsi Gabbard really interested me with her policies, and that kind of developed. But I've been in like really liking politics and talking about politics forever, and I don't know why it's such a taboo and why people get so offended. One of the things that I agree with the right on is that cancel culture stuff needs to go away, and we've always had it, but it's kind of hyperactive right now, in this moment. And I think it's because we're exposed to it more, internet connectivity, global, connectivity, social, whatever. So, yeah, but I mean, sorry, what was your question? I think
No
you had a
problem. No
question,
problem. That happens
right?
to me sometimes too. Yeah. So the thing is that look, you've had your show for a long time. You're
Right.
you're more interacting with news. Remember also that the news that you're receiving is actually tainted. It's not pure news.
How that's changed
But
me,
yeah,
right? How that's
but you exactly.
Well, I feel like I've evolved somewhat. I
You're
think
definitely
you
more.
should
I would
always
definitely feel
evolve
like
your positions.
I definitely feel like you're definitely more confident than when you first started because you have
Oh,
more
yeah,
knowledge.
absolutely.
You know what I mean? So what? Right? And there's nothing, and that's why I enjoy having with you because you're more knowledgeable and more confident and can speak more clearly.
But that
'cause you
doesn't mean
thought-
I'm always right either.
Yeah,
Like,
but you spend more time thinking about it at least. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. And at least we can have a conversation beyond just what was the last thing said on Jimmy Dore, and then the whole conversation
Right.
shuts down and slows down after that. Like at least you spend some brain cycles on the issues or day after day. Like you can bring up an interesting example. You know what I mean? That's why Big Talk to me is actually an interesting show. You know what I mean? You're not just getting recycled like some shows I watch out there. It's just like Jimmy Dore just done worse with less quality. Come on, no way, man. At least Big Talk, Little Talk, you're getting like he'll talk about like the hemp thing with Tulsi. Nobody else covered that shit. Nobody. You get what I mean? My only source for that shit is Big Talk Little Talk. That's fucking interesting as shit. You know what I mean? And sometimes I'm sure, like, why am I the only person covering this? You must be feeling that to yourself. Like, I don't know. You let me know. Like, how is your perspective changing?
no, I am, but I also know. I am also like, why aren't people covering this? But then I also know, because I know that The Hill, The Rising is owned by a corporation full with CBS burnout executives who saw an opportunity in the progressive movement and said, these guys are, not to say that they're dumb, but these guys are just as
worth money.
influenced.
Yeah, it's worth money.
as, as influenced as the right, the conservatives are. Oh, they watch Fox News. How could they fall for Fox News? And here are the progressives falling for The Hill, The Rising. Now, The Hill, The Rising does great work, and I don't care. Make your money. I'm more conservative than these lefties who subscribe to those people.
Yeah, I gotta give big props to
your money.
Big Talk Little Talk on this particular subject. Like, so he pointed out some things that I never even fucking noticed. Like, The Hill never reports on third parties. You know what I mean? That was fucking really eye-opening. Also, there's other things too. Like, I kind of noticed, like, once Big Talk Little Talk, and nobody else talks about this shit. You know what I mean? Yo, what up? Big props, Big Talk Little Talk. What up? You know what I mean? People out there need to be talking and watching alternate sources. Hell yeah.
Right. And by the way, look, the right wingers, I can, when I see something that I feel like is wrong, or they're like falling over themselves or have fallen into this hypocrisy moment, I'll point it out. There was a segment on Fox News. They were pushing back against Juan, whatever his name is, the African-American commentator who's on the left there, if you want to call his position the left. Again, up for interpretation. But anyways, they were talking about the federal agents coming in with no identification. Now, this country has been slipping into that for decades now. First, it was local PD, and then it was the sheriff's department, unmarked vehicles. So we've allowed that to happen. Why? Because both extremes tell us doesn't matter, politics don't matter, and then the middle just doesn't care for the most part. It's a boring thing. So, this is the system that we allow. Oh, we have a system that's corrupted and that it's taking advantage of us. No, my friends, amigos. No. This system was, stamp of approval by the public. Stamp of approval. Because we don't participate. We've never participated. That's why, people aren't sweating these protesters. You think nobody's sweating these protesters? They don't come on vote for them. Now, the minute that starts happening and you risk their job and their position,
Yeah.
you better believe it. They'll be coming and running and trying to shake your hand and sit down at the table with you.
Yeah, you're damn right. Yeah. Protests are kind of like the fast food of activism. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's easily consumable. You can do your little
That's
time.
beautiful. Yeah, that's
you wrap
beautiful.
it up, and then you know what? Like, and then when it comes time to you to activist anything, right? But you just take that shit. You had your hour. You fucking stood in the line. Then you throw that shit away. You know what I mean? You're like, fuck it. You know what I mean? I'm done with my shit. Like, I'm gonna go back to my regular life now. It's hilarious.
I took the picture for Instagram and it's on my Twitter.
Exactly.
I'll have the moment captured so people know I was out on the street.
Exactly. You know what I mean? And whether one or not, you know what I mean? Hey,
but then you also have hey, we shouldn't ignore that there's also a dangerous element to these. There's people who want a race war in there. There are infiltrators and people who just want to cause harm.
Not just race war, class war, all kinds of wars.
You know,
people have their own little agendas. You're damn right about that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Michael Tracy was a victim of harassment from the authoritarian neo-communist left. These people, carrying that anarchist shield again with the anarchism. It's like the damn right-wing rallies where they have like the new Nazi, the neo-Nazi, or like what is it, National Socialist Movement, and this little clique and that little clique, and they're rocking their brand. They look like a microcosm of capitalism. My brand, my company. No, my brand, my company. Come shop over here at anarchist.com.
And actually, I actually share a lot of those viewpoints as well on a deep level, which is kind of cool. But another thing that really impressed me at Big Talk Little Talk, not here, but honestly, I'm doing a show on fucking Big Talk Little Talk, so obviously I'm fucking promoting, so fuck, you've got a problem with that. That's what I got to say, but whatever. So the thing is that, look, Big Talk Little Talk, another thing is that you're a little bit more deeper than the average person might see straight up. You know what I mean? Like, I kind of like get to know people, like shuffle in. And this Power Anthem network, right, where you kind of like got all these different YouTubers together. Now, part of my idea was to do like a series to kind of bring like lefty, or not even lefty, but just, more, I don't even know what lefty really means, right? But people that are like, kind of like, aligned with myself, like in the same general direction, and to try to put them together and get more things done, because I really believe in the power of doing things with a team versus just yourself, because one person can build a house, but a team can build a skyscraper. You know what I mean? So I think, and the Power Anthem Network actually gets them together in a video basis, right? Which is more fun. A lot of people want to do in-person meetings. I ain't got time for that shit. You know what I mean? But honestly, getting them together in a way that where they can address their own goals and put out new narratives in a concerted way, that's fucking awesome. The Power Anthem Network is your idea?
Well, it was a couple of us. We thought about it, but I want to mention it's a good thing you say about building a tower in a group and a team. The left activists need to not only denounce their extreme sides as much as we say that the right should denounce their extreme side. Take a lesson from your book, denounce them and reach across the aisle yourself and work with these other groups. There's a reason why the conservatives and the liberal Democrats have stayed in power, because when the moment counts for them, they work together. The Defense Act was just passed, right? Majority passed it. Why? Because when the time counts for them, that's important that I emphasize that. For them, they team up and they get shit done.
Exactly.
And
so you think
us children who squabble against each other in the streets have no time for each other. And so guess what? We build this tower, but they're building their tower. So you guys are going to end up like the liberals and the Republicans. You're going to end up like the Democrats and the Republicans.
Not only, right, so I look at people, some people out there, they watch for people like, so a lot of and it's kind of interesting you say you're a talk show, right? But you're more than just about talk.
But
you're actually
Power
doing
Anthem
things.
Network is bringing people together from all across the thing. That's the point. Is that I'm trying to, if conservatives want to come on, if a neo whatever Nazi fascist wants to come on, he's welcome. Go ahead, brother. I'll bring you in the call with your Confederate background, and then we can argue and have a fun conversation without disrespecting each other on those things. But those things don't matter. What matters is the banking. What matters is the economy and politics of that, and that's kind of transcends parties. That transcends we all have to share an economy. We all live together. Okay, we don't have different economies. We have our economy. So when you wave that anarchist flag, what are you telling me? What are you telling me about the system that I share with Pablo, the immigrant from Mexico, who fought like hell to get citizenship and now owns a small store? Oh, the radical left says we should shut down. They're allying with the Democrats and they're telling us to keep our children out of school. What is that going to do to Pablo? Oh, no, but he should be a comrade so that the Democrats, who we hate and have no incentive to do anything we need them to do, we're literally calling for their heads. They're definitely going to, take care of Pablo. Yeah. We gotta put pressure on him, brother.
Like it's funny when you say these things because I can think of like actual like real memories. Like talking about the anarchist thing, I would like to give it to the back power anthem, but I'm just gonna take a quick second to like maybe explain to you like why there's like this difference, or sometimes it seems like I don't get it. Yeah. So when you say like these anarchists like take these positions, like I can specifically think like props out to new. Well, I don't want to dox anybody or get anybody in trouble, okay? But there are some organizations that I was affiliated with, right? And then they were like anarchist leaning, or they were just straight up anarchists. Like I even went to one of the events, they had a freaking Antifa flag up, whatever. That's cool with me. But some of the members there are more like what you're talking about, the stereotype. And that's like 1 or 2 out of 10, maybe. You know what I mean? Then there's other members who just show up every day for the food not bombs and gives away food and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And they don't really talk about the politics that much and stuff like that. But it's just a way for them to get involved with a community group that does the charity work that they want to do. That's not suit and tie. That's not Red Cross, like, whatever affiliated. They get to be a little bit anti-establishment, you know what I mean? And be cool against the man as a teenager.
Nobody's saying...
You know what I mean? So, yeah, so there's different, like, I know, like, different people who are in the movement. And, yeah, there's some people who are all fucked up like that. You're damn right. They're definitely there. There's 1 or 2 of them. And then, but within that group, right, like, the people who are, like, just attending and going to the thing, like, are they really supposed to kick out those vocal members who are sometimes, like, the more...
No.
Had the better personality, not the better personality, but like have that kind of like outgoing personality. So it's like this,
just understand.
Yeah.
Just understand that they're gonna have just as much influence on the real world as the Girl Scouts.
It's problematic behavior.
Actually, no, because the Girl Scouts are actually and the Girl Scouts actually probably do wield some political power and influence.
Absolutely.
Unlike what you're talking about, these anarchist meetings. Okay, have your nobody cares, but don't come out and say that you're trying to change something. Or that, you're a serious actor when you're flying anarchy.
It's, I get it too, though. I mean, there's some real, just from my work and being working with organizations, being in government organizations, working with them, I do. Anarchy does tend to attend to certain problems within systems that other philosophies don't. So I think
that's fine.
I don't think we should throw out anarchy.
But what politician are they running? Who's running for the Congress or the school board?
They're not
anarchists.
They're not.
Oh, okay.
Actually, there may be some. Actually, there may be some that are. Actually, there were some affiliated. There's some who affiliated.
Great.
Yeah.
And that's how you.
I know some who was affiliated who actually got onto the city council. So that was like in another area.
Start a PAC. These people watch The Hill, The Rising in the morning. Crystal Ball started a PAC. She started a PAC right after she ran.
Yeah.
That's what you do. You raise money to support the efforts that you care about.
Yeah.
Same reason why you take
I have different
money
thoughts
out
on
of
that,
your
but
wallet.
I'm sure we'll do a show about that.
People on YouTube.
Yeah. I do the same thing, but I do it without creating a PAC because I escape the definitions. Any legal definition I just don't want to be a part of it. So I could do what I want, and then you have to come up and I'm not a PAC, so you can't tell me what to do. You know what I mean? But yeah, right. That's treading a weird line right there. You know what I mean? I don't get tax benefits and shit, but who gives a fuck? You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, you don't have to use that. I'm just saying there's other outlets that it's not just electoral is what I was trying to say. It's, because you always say it's not just electoral. Yeah, I get that. It's not just electoral, but electoral matters. It matters who's using the pen to write that law into, existence or to advocate for that on the House at whatever state house or what have you. It's just, this is boring, dude. This is why it's easy, man. It's easy money. You come in, this is boring. We'll take it. Nobody's paying attention. And even if they were, the NBA and all those other places, just the same. Sports is just the same. Every industry is the same, okay?
Yeah.
You can't have a world of peace because we as human beings are not peaceful creatures. We're hunters. We're aggressive.
Can be. Yeah, that's true. So look.
I mean, yeah. It's obviously we can be kind and everything generous, but there's two sides of it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on the aggressive part too, and I don't want to throw that away. Some people are not that aggressive. In fact, they're kind of wussy. But, that just happens. You know what I mean?
Most people can be
I'm
pretty
more the
mean.
warrior type. Yeah,
Most people can be pretty mean.
They absolutely can. Yeah, absolutely can. Yeah. So, look.
All right, brother, but I had a lot of fun on this.
Okay, wait. One more thing, yeah? The big talk, little talk, right? The thing is that, like, news pops up and then you react to it. You're like, oh, look at this Portland thing, and then you react, right? But what's your, like, pro-action, right? Like, you've created Power Anthem Network. and you said like it's a way for different people from different backgrounds to talk to each other. But it seems like you also see that there's certain things that are wrong or you disagree with, and you want to change them. How can you utilize your platform and your other tools like Power Anthem Network to get those things done?
Well, I mean, you know, we'll see where it goes. If it develops into its own news network show. Right now, we don't have much of anything up on the YouTube channel, but
I'm excited to be part of it, man. Make a logo and I'll put it on the end of every one of my videos, man. Part of Power Anthem Network, you know what I mean? Make a link to the rest of people's shows. I don't give a fuck. It's a cool squad right here, man. I'm part of a lot of different squads, you know what I mean? And this is definitely one of the cool ones, man.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you got to kind of build a business around YouTube, around this kind of stuff. You have to have a business idea, a model.
Okay.
And I think I'm working and waiting to do that. So I'm trying to think out, like, what's the best business model that can work? Because at the end of the day, if it doesn't make any money, what's the point of it, and what kind of power am I going to yield, you know?
Yeah. If you're an activist YouTuber, you should definitely check out this series that's coming up. You know what I mean? Or just like stay in contact with us. I think it's really, really cool to see how we develop, right? It's interesting as shit to me. Before we leave, Big Talk, Little Talk, that's the YouTube channel. I want you to also shout out your Twitter and all that for the viewers right now. Give them big smiles so they make sure that they subscribe and do all that right there.
So people can reach me at Israel's Daily. That's Israel S Daily. Nothing to do with the state of Israel, by the way. That's just my first name, okay? Deal with it.
People will get triggered for anything.
Yeah, but anyways, yeah, they can reach me there. And then I might start a Twitch channel too. I'm thinking about doing that.
Cool.
But other than that, YouTube, Twitter, that's where I'm most active. I have a Facebook. It's all Big Talk, Little Talk, other than Twitter.
That's cool. Friday nights is that live show?
Yes, TGIF.
Yes, I'm usually blowing up the chat.
Politics.
Blow up the chat, y'all. It's a fun time, yeah? I'll see you on the next one. Peace. Thanks.
All right, man. Bye. That was good.
That's good. These videos are independently produced and funded, and your support is deeply appreciated. Liking the video and subscribing helps the channel, and ringing the bell icon will keep you notified as to when we upload new content. You can also check out our other social media platforms. We'd love to hear from you. We also have our event calendar, links in the description. On our Reddit, you can come in and get on the conversation and check out some of the memes. Like and share, it really helps us in the YouTube algorithm. Every week on Sunday, we have a live online meeting where you can join us in working to create and nurture the change that we need. I'd like to invite you to check out some of our other videos. Until next time, may all your actions bring you success. Stay focused, stay strong, and reinvest in yourself as well as your community. Together, our efforts can be greater than the sum of the parts. The power is in your hands. Thanks for watching.